Michael Boyd, and this is my video blog on Moore's theory of interaction. Moore's theory of interaction is unique because it is one of the few theories that was developed specifically for distance education. Moore's distinguished among three forms of interaction in distance education. One was student-to-student interaction, and student-to-student interaction refers to interaction among individual students or among students walking in small groups. Moore, 1989. In correspondence courses, the interaction is often absent. In fact, correspondence students, in traditional correspondence students, may not even be aware that the other students are taking the same course. The move into distance education, including two-way video and audio conferencing and web-based courses, student-to-student interaction could be synchronous, as in video conferencing and chatting, or asynchronous, as in discussion boards or email messaging. Number two is student-instructor interaction. Student interaction focuses on dialogue between student and the instructor. During student-instructor interaction, the instructor seeks to stimulate or at least maintain the student's interest in what to be taught. And finally, there's student-content interaction. That's where the student interacts with the content of the subject matter under study to construct meaning. They can relate to personal knowledge and apply it to problem solving. Moore described student-content interaction as the process of intellectually interacting with the contents that result in changes in the learner's understanding. Now, the purpose of all this is that distance education then builds on all of this interaction. Now, there's some positive impacts of interaction, and one of the things that the literature said was that it's largely univocal about the importance of interaction. And it's not just in distance education, it's as well in the classroom, that the more interaction, the better the learning environment. Designing interaction treatments into distance education courses, whether to increase interaction with the material to be learned, or with the course instructor, or with peers, actually positively impacts student learning. You'll see an increase. And most of the research that I looked at showed a positive correlation between adding interactions. Now, part of the problem with all that is that most of these studies took place in the early days of distance education. And so there are some challenges to Moore's theory. One is that just because there's opportunities for interaction doesn't mean the students are going to avail themselves of them, or even if they do, where they're going to interact, that they do so effectively. There are positive impacts are unique to distance learning, and that may not be the case. It can be seen in face-to-face classroom interactions. It also is a possibility that learners may not value the outcome of learning sufficiently to increase their efforts. And finally, learners believe that gains in learning from increased effort are inefficient. It takes too much effort to do a little better. The reality is that the tools increase the likelihood of poor outcomes, not increase them. Not learners believe that novel approaches to learning, use of unfamiliar knowledge, hurts learning rather than effectively. So that's my review of Moore's theory of interaction.